Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you so much for joining us here again on the channel today. It is Friday, October the 20th, 2017, and this Sunday is WWE TLC, and we are here to talk about it as we bring you our official preview and predictions for this Sunday's pay-per-view right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of the YouTube wrestling community, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. So let's do it, baby.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans! Thank you so much for joining me here again today. My name is Nick Nightmare. With me, as always, is my tag team partner, Baloo the Snowball Microphone, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world. And this is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV. Thank you so much for checking out today our preview and prediction show for what I would not even want to call a pay-per-view. This show is ridiculous. This show is a joke, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. I'm wearing my Papa Shango t-shirt, which I just received in my That Wrestling Club box, which we unboxed right before the SmackDown Live review. If you didn't check that out, be sure you do after this show. Go over to the SmackDown Live review and you will see my unboxing of my very first That Wrestling Club box, which was freaking fantastic. I loved everything that I got in there. It was absolutely great. Go check that out. And let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is clearly this guy right here. And don't worry, he's not here to beat my ass. He's here to watch my back. And he is an official member of the Sledgehammer Club, which if you are not, I urge you right now to join down below by hitting that subscribe button and ring-a-ding-ding the ringside match bell to make sure you're up to date and notified every single time an episode drops right here on YouTube.com. This, obviously, is Seth Rollins, right? It's life-size. It's pretty freaking big. And shout out to the gang at GameStop over at the Gateway Center there in Brooklyn, who allowed me to take home this beautiful display of this wonderful man, Seth Rollins. It's fantastic. And I know he's got my back so we can get this show underway. He may not like some of the things I have to say on this show as it pertains to his match at this pay-per-view, but we'll deal with that when we get to that bridge, and hopefully he doesn't beat me up when I do say what I have to say. So, let's start talking about TLC. One of the saddest parts of this pay-per-view is the biggest story and the biggest thing we could talk about as it pertains to this pay-per-view is the fact that there is a very real threat that the entire roster is sick, and patient zero is apparently Bray Wyatt. Reports are all over the place that Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas and possibly JoJo all have viral meningitis. I don't know what it is. It sounds disgusting. And I don't even want to look into it because I don't want to know what it's all about. I don't want to know what Bray Wyatt's going through. It sounds disgusting. Meningitis doesn't sound fun. Viral meningitis. And there is a very real possibility that it's spread beyond these people, as certain people on the Raw roster have been complaining about not feeling well, and the main event of this show is supposedly in jeopardy due to said virus. Sister Abigail versus Finn Balor may not be happening this Sunday. And all I can think about that is that maybe the gods of wrestling have spoken here. They know how bad it is. And even the wrestling gods that dwell wherever they dwell, up above, down below, right next to you, wherever it is, they hit the Raw roster with this as punishment for the terrible, terrible television they've been putting on, and for this pay-per-view card, which is absolutely nothing more than a joke. By trying to promote this as something more than a glorified episode of Raw, it's trying to make me look stupid, I feel. You have a pay-per-view here where we don't have a Universal Championship match. We don't have the Intercontinental Championship at stake, and even if it was, would you care? Because The Miz has done nothing with it since he's come to Monday Night Raw. We have no tag team championships being defended, but we have no tag team division, so we shouldn't be surprised at that. And being absent of all that, what can you give us? Well, you give us this feigned attempt at a Shield reunion that's forced and that's being spoon-fed to us harder than you feed us Roman Reigns when he's on his own? How many different analogies and ways can we call them the Hounds of Justice and the Dogs led by the Big Dog? That's all this is clearly being laid out for. For the re-coronating of Roman Reigns once again. They feel like the Shield reunion is going to put him in that positive light that they so desperately want him to be in, but they did it wrong. You brought back the Shield to take out The Miz and a galley of superstars that Roman Reigns and friends have already beaten. They've beaten Sheamus and Cesaro. They have beaten The Miz. They have beaten even Braun Strowman. Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman have a history of winning and beating each other up. Some cases, Roman Reigns won, even though he shouldn't have, against the Monster Among Men. So where's the threat? What's so important about this group of superstars? And it wasn't enough. They even knew that it wasn't enough. So even though we got Samoa Joe reportedly being cleared and ready to go, we go to the well and we pull out a 50-year-old mayoral candidate who hasn't been on TV all year. Last time we seen him was in December. And I don't care that it was the 20th anniversary of Kane's debut at Bad Blood. That means nothing in 2017. You want to worry about 20 years ago? You want to rest that? Oh, it's historic. It's not historic. It's pathetic. That's what it is. Kane is going to sell me on this match. Adding Kane to this team. Braun Strowman wasn't enough. You would have brought in Samoa Joe, I would say, all right, well, maybe now they need the Shield. But even on that end, Roman Reigns has beaten Samoa Joe. I believe even Seth Rollins maybe, beat Samoa Joe at one point during this year. Or has at least been able to stand toe-to-toe with the man. There's still no threat. The 5 of them versus the 3 members of the Shield. This is the Shield. There should be no reformation unless there are dire consequences coming down on the entire company. A hostile takeover. A superstar running amok that nobody can get under control, like a Kevin Owens. Him joining with Sami Zayn could have grew more and more. You could have added more people into the mix. Maybe that's where you could have stuck Dolph Ziggler. Since he's stuck in developmental hell, you could have put him alongside Owens and Zayn, form that little faction, and then have them start running roughshod all over the place. And now you need the Shield to counter this, as this is a viable threat. Dolph Ziggler is a credible, viable professional wrestler. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens' work speak for themselves. They are a credible threat. The Miz, Sheamus, and Cesaro. Out of all of those 3, Cesaro's the only one worth anything, really. Sheamus, as great as he is, and as much as I love him, he's a friend of the show. He cut a little promo for us right at the beginning. He's a great guy. Good fella. But what have you done besides this tag team thing? Standing on your own, people don't get behind Sheamus anymore. They're begging for Cesaro to be on his own. Every time this guy has a singles match, they are all over it. The fans are. Not so much Sheamus. Cesaro's the breakout star of that group. The WWE refuses to admit that on a weekly basis. And they just keep these guys in the non-existent tag team division. So it's a waste. It's a waste. They are not a credible threat. So this one match that you've been hyping up, that you got everybody all worried about, and you want everybody to tune in and see this reunion of the Shield, is all for nothing. And it makes me sick to my stomach, because they don't know how to do wrestling anymore. They really don't. There is no reason for the Shield to be together right now. There's no reason for there to not be a major title to be contested at an event that is designated as a pay-per-view. At least one of the top 3. I'm not taking anything away from the women's title match, but that being the only real championship match, do you care about the cruiserweight match? Do you care that Enzo Amore is going to beat Kalisto? No, you don't care. It doesn't matter. Those are the two B-level championships, as opposed to the top three that have been in this company. Well, not the Universal Championship, but the Intercontinental and the World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships have a legacy that goes beyond each and every one of us watching this show right now. And you're treating them like nothing but accessories. Something you could put on your creator wrestler just to walk around and look cool with. It's not cool with me. That's what's not cool. This card is so bad that they don't even have a match for the kickoff show. You know what we're getting for the kickoff show? Not that any of us really tune into the kickoff show, but if Sunday you were bored at 7 o'clock and you just so happen to want to watch the pre-show, and you figure, well, maybe there'll be some undercard match. Some of the undercard matches on the pre-show have actually been outshining the matches on the main cards as of late, starting back from WrestleMania. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll tune in, right? You're going to do that for TLC, right? You know what you're going to get? You're going to get a PowerPoint presentation. You are going to get a PowerPoint presentation. Cruiserweight Championship Edition. So take that for what you want to take it for. By Drew Gulak of the Cruiserweight Division 205 Live Show. Are you kidding me? You've got nothing else that you could throw. You've got a roster of talent and a bunch of people on this show that you're not using. And here you have at least 10 to 15 minutes where you could allow Apollo Crews to maybe do something. Elias can maybe do something. No, we're going to have Drew Gulak do a PowerPoint presentation at a pay-per-view. Are you serious? This is a joke. This whole card is a joke. Because that's just the beginning of the nonsense. WWE TLC. Oh, there is a kickoff match. Forgive me. They're calling this the kickoff match. Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox. That shouldn't even be a match. That should be nothing. There should be nothing in that place. Alright? What kind of a match is that? Alicia Fox has been nothing all year. She made some noise on some podcast, and now you give her a t-shirt and you've been putting her on TV, and you're still not making her look that great. She's got the crazy like a fox gimmick thing going on, and it makes me want to vomit in my mouth. Because it's not genuine. You could see how hard she's trying to act crazy, and it's nauseating. So they threw this at the kickoff match. Shows you how much they really think about Sasha Banks. This is what she's going to do? Is she going to put over Alicia Fox? Is she going to lose? Certainly don't feel like that's going to be the end result here. If you want to ask my opinion, Sasha Banks is going to win this match, and she's probably going to win it pretty quickly. And they're going to put the kibosh on this whole Alicia Fox thing before it even gets rolling, and I say rightfully so. You know, we lost a few subscribers after my last show, and I can only attribute that to the fact that maybe they were Alicia Fox fans. And I invited all these Alicia Fox supporters to please leave. There's the door. Because I don't need people like you. Because you don't know real wrestling. If you're a fan of Alicia Fox, I don't care. I'll take the hit. You think it's that important to unsubscribe because I don't like Alicia Fox? Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Your type of wrestling fan is not welcome here. Because if this is the match you're looking forward to the most, keep it moving. The train's still rolling. Make sure you get on it before the caboose takes off. Absolutely unbelievable. Cruiserweight Tag Team Meaningless Match. Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann versus Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick. The same match that they've been featuring on Raw for the last few weeks. The same match that nobody cares about because the main crux of this whole thing is taking place on 205 Live and nobody's watching 205 Live. Why this even is a match on this, I will never understand. Why this tag team, two cruiserweight matches we're going to get at this pay-per-view because they just have nothing else. Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann probably come out with the win because Gallagher and Kendrick have had the upper hand throughout everything that I've seen. So I expect the good guys to come out on top. WWE Cruiserweight Championship match, Kalisto versus Enzo Amore. I have no feeling about this match one way or the other. It makes no sense after what's happened to Neville. I do not care about the Cruiserweight division. I do not care about the Cruiserweight Championship. I do not care what you're doing with Enzo Amore. Neville was the perfect foil for Enzo Amore, and you continued to book him foolishly and force him to not want to partake in Monday Night Raw. This man has dreamed his whole life to wrestle for the WWE, and you've made him want to leave, which is starting to become more common than not, because they just don't know how to do wrestling anymore. Kalisto, who just won the championship merely 6 days ago, right? Is going to defend it in a rematch here and lose, most likely, to Enzo Amore, who I'm ashamed to have once been a fan of, because it's just absolutely some of the worst stuff I've ever seen. As far as his in-ring talent, his skill on the mic, it cannot be denied. He's very good when he's good, but when he's bad, he's really bad as well. I could care less about this match. The only match I really give a damn about are the next two matches we're talking about. Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James for the Raw Women's Championship. I fully expected Mickie James to get the win here because she is more familiar with Asuka and that she could be the transitional champion as the belt finds its way to the Empress of Tomorrow. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the route that they go. But my gut tells me they're not going to make Alexa Bliss lose in this, although it might make the most sense to actually have her drop the title now. You're not going to have Alexa Bliss versus Asuka now. And even if you did, what chance does Alexa stand against Asuka? Zero. So there's no intrigue, there's no build, there's no way. Just like there's no way Emma is coming out with the victory in their match tonight either. Asuka makes her debut against Emma, the biggest moment that's happening tonight. Asuka coming out and doing her entrance. After that, it's only a matter of time before they give her the Shinsuke Nakamura treatment and just treat her like absolute garbage and not know what to do with Asuka. So, nothing there. The Demon versus Sister Abigail might not even be happening because, like I said, Bray Wyatt's got the viral meningitis and we don't know if he's going to be cleared to go by Sunday, and I hope to God that he's not, because I don't want to see him dressed in zombie drag taking on the Pumpkin King Jack was going to call him Jack Skellington, Finn Balor. Because that's what he reminds me of. And this match is ridiculous and it shouldn't be happening. And if he comes out, Bray Wyatt, in Sister Abigail garb, it's just, I could care less. I know it's Halloween. I got my tray up here. You know what I mean? I don't need it infiltrating my wrestling this way. The only way I actually would have accepted this in any way is if this was happening at Halloween Havoc. Because then at least you could sell the campiness. It's a Halloween-themed show. But we're not doing that, are we, guys? We're doing TLC, and we're getting the Pumpkin King versus Bray Wyatt's possessed psycho sister. And hopefully his illness keeps him off the card, and they have to do something else, because this is atrocious. What do we got left after that? The 5-on-3 handicap match. Shield versus The Gang. You know, TLC. One TLC match on this card. You know, traditionally we'd have a tables match. We'd have a ladder match. We'd have some type of no DQ match which would have featured the chairs. And then you could have finished off with the tables, ladders, and chairs finale, usually reserved for a tag team match of some sort because you can get the most out of that. You can pull off the most spots, get the most out of your match there. But what do we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regular matches. And 2 of them championship matches, but lower level championship matches. And then a 5-on-3 to do nothing but what we said at the beginning of this thing, to promote the Shield. To promote and further the agenda for Roman Reigns. Which was not what we wanted to see. We wanted to see the WWE need to bring back the Shield. We wanted to see them just absolutely at their knees. Please, guys, put your stuff aside. We are under attack by the club. We are being taken over by the newly reformed Wyatt family. Whatever the case may be. Who needs them to take out The Miz and a bunch of stooges? Except for Braun Strowman. who the only reason is placed in this match at all is because they have nobody else for him to wrestle. Like I said, you got Samoa Joe sitting there waiting to come back to the TV. You could have had Strowman versus Joe. That would have been easily the best match to look forward to on the card. You know, those were the two matches that I looked forward to pretty much only this year. The only matches I've anticipated greatly was Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe versus Strowman. And you've already killed all three of those matches. And you've done nothing for Braun Strowman here. All you have done is essentially bury him. And you got nothing else for him because you don't build up new credible characters. So you have nothing to give your resident monster to do. So let's just throw him in with everybody else. And he's not enough. So let's give him another monster. Let's give him Kane. Who cares that he's 50 years old? Who cares that he's running for mayor somewhere? You know, it's the anniversary of Bad Blood. Let's bring him out for Raw. It's the same date. We could do it. It's history, right? Get out of here. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm done with it. And I'm not even looking forward to this pay-per-view at all. Not in the slightest. So there's your match card. That is pretty much going to do it. And we will be back here all weekend long with continuing coverage of rumors and news and highlights. And we're going to review this piece of trash show that I'm going to force myself to sit through. I have no interest. Outside of seeing maybe Mickie James and Alexa and the debut of Asuka. Everything else, what can you say? Just a waste of your Sunday night. You might have a much better time watching the American League Championship Series if it's on that night. Or maybe you're a National League guy. Maybe you should just watch some baseball for 4 hours because it's definitely going to be better than TLC for 3 hours. You got The Walking Dead coming on. Season premiere for that. Maybe I should do that instead. Got a lot of things debuting this Sunday. Maybe I'll just watch Fox all night. Get myself some Family Guy and American Dad. Make myself be entertained instead of doing this. But I can't do that because I have to be here for you guys to bring you the coverage that you know you get. We don't flavor the medicine here. All right? We give it to you and it's 100% disgusting, chalky goodness. And you're going to choke it down because that's what we do when we bring the hammer down. Right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Thank you so much, everybody. Don't forget to like this video, smash that thumbs up, subscribe if you have not joined the club already, share this video with all your friends if you know they'd enjoy it, and don't forget to check out our sponsor, Clutch Chairs. The link is down in the description below. All you got to do is click it, check out the WWE theme merchandise, and you've helped out the show greatly. I am Nick Nightmare. This is my tag team partner, Blue the Snowball Microphone, the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones. That's going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you next time right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. And we'll see you then.